Let me talk to you about a couple of brothers I despise, the Tate brothers. I don't know how these two jadruls ever got anybody's attention, but God bless them. They have parlayed this complete and total act of collective nonsense into something. Well, you know, they're returning to Romania, or there was a return to Romania, and it's the rebranding. The rebranding of alleged exploitation as influence. Because, you know, these self-proclaimed influencers, Andrew and Tristan Tate, once reality TV personalities, are now notorious figureheads of an online masculinity cult. I know it sounds nuts, but that's as best as I can figure, whatever the hell it is. Because they're experts in masculinity. Oh, they are. Oh, yeah. Some poor kid, some delusional little boy who has no idea what a man is. Well, anyway, so they returned to Romania, once again, under the scrutiny of legal authorities to answer their charges. And by the way, let me start off by saying that whatever they are charged with in any country, I know really nothing about it. I haven't followed it. And even if I did, they are presumed innocent, and you know that routine. Their arrival this weekend comes amid ongoing charges of, I can't say the R word, but you know what it is, because they want these funny algorithms. But the R word. Human trafficking, participation in organized crime groups. Now, while the brothers continue to proclaim their innocence, absolutely, how many people ever say, yep, we did it, 100%, and more that you don't know about? Few people do that. But in any event, the gravity and the scale of the allegations, as well as their own public admissions throughout this big mouth chatter throughout the years, you know, explicating and expatiating their theoretical framework of their philosophy, whatever the hell it is, it all paints a far more troubling portrait. So their return to Romania marks another chapter in the saga that has become as much about their public persona and personality than it's about, the law. Andrew Tate, this guy, oh my God. Bilious, this bombastic, carefully crafted image. Brash, confident, defiant, and full of shite. And both of them, he in particular, speaks like he's got marbles in his mouth. I don't know what it is. I laugh. I'm thinking, people listen to him? He is the standard bearer for masculinity. Well, recently it was on full display as he told a crowd of reporters, innocent men don't run. That is true. I don't know what the story is, but they returned there. But for critics and legal analysts and the likes, their theatrics, in particular his, do little to erase what they consider to be a pattern of disturbing behavior and statements that go far beyond the boundaries of legal gray zones and into the dark and dank realm of social degradation. Oh, these guys are. Would you let your daughter spend any time with him? Would you let him pick your daughter up from school? No. Or anybody for that matter, but let the truth be known. But I mean, this guy is just creepy. And the sad part is the people who defend him and think he's great. And again, they always say, well, in Romania. I'm not talking about Romania. He glamorizes exploitation. You see, the Cidrulo brothers built their empire on a mix of this kind of hyper-capitalist hustle culture, with the cigar. And whenever they smoke cigars, they have the wrong ring gauge because it's a little bit much. And with the snifter of this, they remind me of like the Salt Bay. These concocted bullshit peddlers of whatever it is that they do. But in any event, in this, again, this hyper-capitalist hustle culture, it's a good way of saying it, and their unapologetic was beyond misogyny. You see, their public content has frequently, or always, it glamorizes and basically celebrates control over women. Not in a good way, not through love and respect. Oh, no. Control as in kind of like mental slavery. The commodification of relationships. Boasting of wealth accumulated through online sex work and webcam activities. Oh, I'm so rich. I'm just, oh my God, look at my cars. And little boys just eat that up. Andrew Tate has openly bragged about coercing women into webcam work through manipulation, which is a kind of an interesting way of doing it by using his incredible Svengali Rasputin-like charm. This is a practice that, by the way, if proven in court, aligns with internationally recognized definitions of trafficking. Now, remember, he's presumed innocent, so must be a big mistake. Right, Andy? Huh? And Trisket, your brother, I'm not that familiar with him as well as you. But while the brothers deny, of course, any criminal allegations, as is their right, including charges related to the trafficking of minors, which they absolutely refuse to even acknowledge or even countenance or even suggest of any kind of complicity or culpability. And the R word. They continue to post and speak in ways that glorify the very lifestyle under investigation. Brilliant. Oh, brilliant. This image branding has not only misled, legion, troops, scores of young, impressionable little boys into believing domination is synonymous with masculinity. Right, Andy? Is that it? You and Trisket there? Is that it? It's also laid bare, my friends, the dangerous potential of influence that we see all the time in social media. You know it's true. Ooh. I think Milli Vanilli said it best. Now, their messages have had some pretty serious and tangible consequences. Schools across multiple countries have reported upticks in misogynistic speech and behavior among teenage boys directly tied to Tate content. Mental health experts, educators are increasingly warning of the Tate's psychological influence on impressionable minds. And not in a good way. But of course, it's a misunderstanding, right? And the legal whirlwinds, the public stunts, all of this, the current Romanian investigation is not the first time that the Tates have faced legal jeopardy. No. British authorities have also reopened civil proceedings based on past allegations, including coercive control by multiple women dating back to 2012. And a UK extradition request was granted, but will only be acted upon after Romanian legal processes conclude. Now, in the face of mounting evidence, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the Tates have attempted to control the narrative through bombastic social media posts and comments and impromptu press statements. The latest jab, complaining about spending $185,000 on a private jet just to sign paperwork in Romania. Damn! And I thought I had it bad. No, you've got it bad. The message he hopes to send is clear. He's not hiding. But critics see something else. A calculated publicity stunt from a man or a boy whose very livelihood depends on constant visibility and bullshit. The Rasputin, the Henry Ford of bullshit. And despite the repeated claims of persecution and conspiracy, Romanian authorities continue to pursue multiple cases, including a second investigation into trafficking minors, influencing witnesses, and money laundering. Oh, yeah. Presumed innocent, I remind you. Prosecutors have described a complex web of psychological manipulation, isolation, and exploitation involving women who have been lured, into this what amounts to slavery, servitude, through the so-called lover boy method. And I thought we were the only ones that knew about that. That's right. A Bucharest court recently ruled that procedural errors have delayed trial proceedings, not vindicated them, but the case remains open. And he remains presumed innocent. And the platforms and profiteers, oh, my dear friend, even as formal criminal charges hang over their heads, the Tates remain widely visible. Widely. Clips of their interviews, their speeches, their monologues, their philippics, their disquisitions flood social media, particularly TikTok and Instagram, often posted by fans on fan accounts of little boys. Little boys who look to these two guys as they're heroes. And despite platform bans, the brothers' ideology spreads like wildfire, aided by algorithms, in essence, that it is believed favor, controversy and virality and responsibility. And that's fine. Listen, free speech. Let them speak. Let them speak. Remember, free speech, buddy. Big tech, it seems once again, my friend, stands accused of enabling digital cults that monetize rage and confusion. Well, I'm sorry, but that's true, but you're not going to stop that. While some platforms have cracked down, the decentralized nature of social media has made it nearly impossible to curb the spread of Tate's content completely. And you know what? So what? Look, I don't know if I want it to be able to control anything. Social media, free speech, the wind, the air, the medium, do not guarantee that everything that is said is wholesome and palatable and beneficial. I'm sorry, it's the way it goes. The digital ubiquity, the omnipresence of these chidrulos makes accountability elusive. Whether in Florida or Bucharest or the comment section of a clip, the brothers Tate are everywhere. And that is precisely by design. Some say it's manufactured martyrdom. A bit alliterative, but it's true. What's most scary and disturbing is the reframing of the criminal charges as proof of martyrdom. That's right. Tate supporters, many of whom see him as a warrior for free speech and anti-globalist masculinity, a man who's fighting for men to be men, and teaching those women who's boss, right, Andy? Yeah, I'm the boss. Here, look into the camera. Look, I'm a man. Say it. Nothing wrong with that. That's healthy. These folks believe that the prosecutions are politically motivated and attacks by the so-called Matrix. Some consider it a paranoid mythology that feeds their brand. I don't know. The brand which thrives on distrust of institutions, disdain and loathing for women, and worship of unchecked, unlimited power. It's funny. The things you argue against are the things you sometimes fear the most. Interesting, isn't it? They hate women. Oh, don't be. Why? Why do you think they would hate women? Why? Do the math. Reminds me of Candace Owens. She hates imposters. Brigitte Macron swears she's a man. What's the matter, Candace? Candace hates imposters. Why? Oh, yeah. Maybe. She hates it. She said how can I forget? Gamala wasn't even black, or she was Irish, or whatever. Why? Hates imposters. Why? Because, you see, the Tate brothers, especially Andy, have presented themselves and cast themselves not just as entrepreneurs or influencers, but as political dissidents. But there's no evidence to suggest that their arrests or investigations are politically motivated. At least that's what people say. Look, Politics always plays a role. Politics. Because getting the bad guy doesn't get any more political than that, right? And there is, however, substantial documentation from law enforcement, including physical evidence and victim statements, pointing to potentially criminal conduct. And also you're going to see people who change their mind, people who claim they were coerced by the government, people who say this wasn't real, this wasn't natural, this wasn't something I really wanted to do. You see, this calculated image of victimhood isn't merely disingenuous, it's corrosive. You see, what it does is it erodes, it destroys the trust in legitimate judicial systems. And what it does is it encourages and emboldens a generation of followers to reject accountability. Look at the Tates in favor of ego and power. Must be okay for me to treat women like this. Look at the Tates. Look at Andy and Trisket there. And they're trying to reclaim the narrative. You see, what's needed now is clarity. Not just legal clarity from the courts, but cultural clarity from society. And that's why I'm here. You see, the glorification of people like the Tate brothers isn't just some, internet little oddity. It's a crisis of values. Their definition of masculinity, rooted in this kind of a perverse domination, greed, exploitation, is a toxic lie. It's a lie. It's a fiction that must be called out by you and me for what it is. A danger to both young men and society at large. Little boys who don't have a father image. Little boys who think this is somehow cool because they do it. Little boys who think that beating somebody up or kicking them in a fight or rear naked choke, this is it. This is their sense of nobility. But there is no nobility in building an empire on the backs of coerced women. None. If that's what happened. There's no strength in public displays of arrogance and this churlish disdain for the law. There's no alpha value. I love that alpha value in dehumanizing others for profit. You see, if the brothers Tate are innocent, that will be decided in court. Not on X, not on podcasts, not by you and me, not in rented mansions, but no legal outcome. No legal outcome can cleanse the corrosive, the social footprint that they've already left behind. But you see, society, my friends, listen carefully, must reject the myth that they sell. And we must stand for a better model of masculinity. That's right. One that defends rather than exploits, that respects women, that likes women. Where we don't have some weird psychosexualism hidden with us. That we don't hide behind crypto-homoeroticism either. We need to uplift. We need to raise rather than dominate. We have to build rather than destroy. This sounds like an Obama speech in a weird way. And that's exactly what this is. Look, these guys are frauds. They're entitled to their day in court, but they're frauds. But men, we need to pay attention to what's going on. There's a lot of boys out there. And by the way, a lot of boys who are 35, 40 years old. Boy doesn't mean your chronology referenced. There are people I know who are immature, people who want so much to be something. And social media, in particular social media cameras and the like, promote this. What do you think about this? What do you think what I've said? Let me know. Please like this video. Do you know that 87% of the people who watch our videos here don't even subscribe? What do you think? Follow us. Let me know specifically. And in the comments section, I want to read your brilliance. What do you think about this? I ask you, beseech, entreat, and importune you to comment as you see fit.